subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Now we saw the case up there with Rodney Hinton up there in Cincinnati, Ohio, where this black man's son, 18 years old, was shot by a suspected race soldier, and then they lied about what happened. See, let's be very clear. All the law enforcement, the prosecutors, they all got together in the media. They lied about what happened. Okay? They lied. They said that kid was pointing a gun at a cop, and he was not. We've seen the video. We have a still shot of it. He was 100% not pointing a gun at that cop. There was no reason for that cop to shoot him. The kid was fleeing. He was running away. They could have tased him or whatever. He did not have to kill him. That cop was not under any threat whatsoever. Let's be clear. Damn what these white supremacists say on the internet. All I'm white and I say so shit ain't flying. So what happened was the family was allowed to come see the footage. The dad saw that footage and he saw what they said and basically determined that they lied and got a free kill off his son. So that dad went around and said, okay, well, I'm about to get my lick back, and went down and unalived another officer. And then when he went to his arraignment, he went up in the courtroom and they had dozens of law enforcement in there trying to stand in solidarity and intimidate that brother. And he walked up in there and walked out with his head up, looking them cops dead in their eyes. Like, okay, things happen. And let me tell you something, a lot of people in the dominant society, boy, they feel a certain way about that. They've been kind of, that kind of shook them up a little bit. A few things shook them up about that. Number one, the black reaction. You look online, a lot of black folks are like, yeah, we're riding with that dad. You look online, millions of black people are online supporting the father. You understand? Ain't that forgiveness talk. There ain't nobody doing all that. Ain't none of that, oh, where they go low, we go high. Like Michelle Obama said, it ain't none of that. So that's a lot of people in the dominant white society, they're like that. That kind of conversation, that's kind of making them a little nervous. And I've seen several law enforcement agencies tweeting, oh, God, they're trying to put some propaganda out. Oh, that criminal. Oh, the thin blue line. Oh, this cop killing criminal. Oh, we all have to stand together. So a lot of people in the dominant society, this situation right here where this dad got immediate justice for his son, what he perceived as justice, the dad got immediate justice in his mind for his son. That has people shook in the dominant society. They're very shook. Now, why are they shook? Why does this case right here, why is this so pivotal? Oh, this was, they're hyper-focused on this case in Cincinnati because see what happens, this disrupts the whole power dynamic. This case, it flips the traditional script where white officers, they're used to being the aggressors with impunity. So a black civilian taking direct and deadly action in response to that, that threatens that unspoken hierarchy and dominance. That's a direct threat to that system. The brother pulled that move because we're supposed to rely on the system all the time. So this brother said, damn the system. I am the system now. They don't like that. They don't want that kind of talk and mindset to get contagious. And that represents retaliatory justice, not victimhood. Black people are allowed to protest, cry, beg, and we're only allowed to do that up to a certain point, but we're never so-called allowed to retaliate. You ain't supposed to retaliate. You don't think like that. What would Dr. Martin Luther King think? Oh, you got to be nonviolent. You see? Because see, family, even when that's the problem. See, I want the dominant society to understand what's going on here. Y'all say, okay, y'all protest and beg, but okay, when we protest, y'all say, okay, we're gonna put some laws together where we'll allow Kyle Rittenhouse to go to the protest with a gun and pick some of y'all off, and we'll protect Kyle Rittenhouse. See, y'all still play little deadly games when we want to protest, when we want to march in the streets and say, hey, we want some kind of justice. We're begging for justice while we're marching in the middle of the street. Y'all turn around and put a law together that says, hey, you know what? You can legally run over these protesters. So every time we do something nonviolent or do something peaceful or beg, y'all come up with more damn violence. So people are like, well, damn. Well, shit, I guess that's the only language y'all know. You see? So now this case in Ohio, that's introducing the rare, unsettling image of a black parent who avenges their child rather than mourn passively. See, that challenges white America's comfort zone. See, y'all used to the somebody getting the race soldier killing somebody, and then they out here with Ben Crump hugging every damn body. Those days are over. All right, that's a wrap. Yeah, that's over with. Yeah, because that didn't work. People, they just not going to keep doing the same shit that ain't working. And you know, you picking off people's kids, you don't know how people are going to react. You do not know how people are going to react. You're out here messing with folks' kids. And again, this it sets a psychological precedent. See, law enforcement, see a lot of people in the dominant society, they fear copycat responses. See, if one grieving father retaliates violently, see, they worry that other people might say, hey, that might be the next move because people are losing faith in the justice system. See, the white supremacists are getting desperate. You better understand the art of war. You don't back folks in a corner and don't leave an out. That's the worst thing you can do in warfare. That's just military science. This is not me talking. In military science, they always say you leave an out for people because if you don't leave an out and you corner somebody, they're going to fight to the damn death. And they haven't given us a damn out. Every goddamn time they harm us, it's always some bullshit justification. So people are like, well, damn it, let me create my own exit zone on my own terms. That's how people are thinking now. And the narrative can't really be controlled now. See, the usual propaganda, that whole he reached for something, or he was pointing a gun at me, or that shit ain't holding up no more. Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit. That it's I'm white and I say so. All of these, we see what's going on. Speaking of Ohio, again, we remember Tamir Rice when the cop said that. Remember, they said that Tamir Rice pulled a gun out on the cop and held it up. When you see the video, Tamir Rice didn't do that. So people are tired of you gunning us down and then lying about it. And not only lying, you're protecting the damn race soldier. You're up here hiding them and not putting their name out. So now this dad said, okay, you can hide them if you want to. It's more y'all out here I'll get. Since y'all on the same team, I get another one of your team members. That's how cats are thinking. You see, it's a whole different thing right now. The system lies, that's not holding up. And when you have a system that's putting lies out there repeatedly, every time a black person is harmed, they're sitting up here lying. We got to accept lies. That delegitimizes the system. People lose faith in that system. And that breaks the martyr mold. See, historically, black families, they're expected to be peaceful in the face of injustice. Oh, you're supposed to have quiet dignity and all of that. Yeah, we'll get the family and we'll give them a couple of dollars and we'll parade you around and hug on you while we protect the race soldier who killed you. No, it's like, no, I'm about to go get at these folks. It's gonna be an eye for an eye. That's what people are thinking now. That ain't holding up at all. So there's a new rebellious archetype that the dominant society they can't really celebrate or control right now. So that's a problem because now it's decentralized. You don't know what each individual is thinking right now. So you walking on eggshells. You don't know. You go out here and you shoot some unarmed kid or some some teen. Now, hey, you don't know whose son that is. Everybody ain't raised by no single mother. There's some dads out here that's gonna stand on some kind of business because that's what they're used to. They're used to shooting some kid in the hood somewhere with a single mother, and the mother is out here crying, and they give her a couple of dollars, and then she's out there with Ben Crump. Uh, it's different when a dad is around and you take a man's son. You don't know what that man was going to do. Yeah. And also, what the dominant society, they're tripping about this case in particular because, see, there's a fear of them losing the image of police as untouchables. See, white society, they treat law enforcement as the last line of unchecked authority. See, if officers can be held accountable outside of the system, especially lethally, you're lethally holding them accountable, then that whole aura of invincibility that begins to crack. Because see, they always portray these white officers as like almost godlike, untouchable. They can't be touched because of black fear or the pushback. So now when you have this brother, not only did he get that lick back and touch one of them, then looked him in the eye with his head up. They don't like that image at all. With no fear. Wasn't groveling. Oh Lord, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't no groveling or nothing. They don't like that energy. That reminds them of the damn Maroons. And they know how that can go. You see. So the dominant society, they feel a certain way about this case because it signals growing support for retribution now. See, that's especially terrifying to the dominant society that a significant portion of black society, they're supporting the father. You look online, millions of people are supporting his father. They're not condemning him, they're justifying it. So that shift in collective consciousness, that's more dangerous than any protest to them. You see? Now you have a couple of Sambos and tethers, like, oh no, that is not the way. And now you're gonna have that now. You got a couple of them, but this really exposes the fragility of the system. See, the system depends on fear. It depends on fear, silence, and submission. So when one father is willing to risk it all in a very calculated act of vengeance, it reminds everybody that oppressed people, when pushed too far, they can and will push back. Yeah, so they don't like that. Now listen, I've seen a couple of Sambos. Now listen, now you've had some of the Sambos who's already crying that ain't gonna work. It ain't enough Sambos. The Sambos are getting shouted down. What's that one dude? I always bring him up. Eddie James, Reverend Eddie James, I think that's his name, that Sambo during the George Floyd uprising. When shit went south, you had that Sambo sitting out there making videos crying, trying to trying to gain his butter biscuits back with white people. Look what is going on. You have black people killing cops. Oh no. This is not the way. You're killing white people. Oh no, don't do it, Negroes. This is not the way. We have to pray. We need a blessing. It ain't enough of them out there, family. It ain't enough for them. So it's a new vibe out here. All right, let's get Okay, so what? No, I'm not. Y'all East Indian dudes, y'all. I'm not. No, y'all got to chill out. I'm not letting y'all up here. Let's get Queen. Let's get the Queen in here. Miss Queen, hop on in, dear. Queen Nene. Let's get Queen Nene in the building. Where you at, Queen Nene?
Mr. Tariq, how are you doing?
Hey, beloved, how are you, dear?
I'm good. I found it very interesting that you were talking about that, brother, because I actually just reposted something. Because first off, they don't never have nothing to say when an innocent black kid is killed, but they got something to say when uh, a white cop is killed. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And because I replied to somebody, I actually quoted it. They were like, "Did he get the actual cop who did the killing, or an innocent good cop who had nothing to do with it?" So my response was condolences to his family. However, did the cops kill a dangerous person who had a gun, or did they kill another unarmed black male? Y'all have an interesting way of forgetting about the innocent black victims killed by cops, but have something to say when someone is fed up and takes the law into their own hands. Like everything you just said, it like I'm sorry, Mr. Tariq, I don't want to curse on here,
No, take your time, dear.
but they piss me the off. What the hell would you do if somebody killed your kid? I don't care what he was doing. Yeah, he probably shouldn't have been doing that, but that kid was not armed. Then they gonna find the gun way up over there. That wasn't even that kid's gun. That
Yeah.
it's just ooh, they full of it. They are full of shit. But when we take things into our own hands, they have something to say. They kill me with that. They really do.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much,
That's
beloved.
all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Okay. Yeah, that whole talking point of, well, yeah, well, he went out and he killed an innocent guy who didn't have anything to do with what happened to his son. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I'm just talking from the perspective of the dad, and just from a warfare perspective. Policing is a collective institution. It's not an individual thing. That cop wasn't out there working for himself. He worked for a system, and that system, unfortunately, is corrupt, full of white supremacists. Let me just be real. According to the FBI, there's law enforcement has been completely infiltrated by white supremacists, especially out there in Ohio. It's just polluted with white supremacists. So that cop, he wasn't just out there working for himself. Now, I'm not saying good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm just speaking from a military standpoint, how somebody from a military with a military mindset would look at it. See, cops, they operate as a collective unit. That's why they all stood up in that courtroom trying to stare Mr. Hinton down, because they were standing as a unit. So when one kills, the other one, they close ranks, they protect, and then they justify the killing. They all get on the same page, the whole unit. The blue wall, they got a blue wall. Yeah, yeah, you don't get to benefit from the thin blue line when it's convenient, and then claim individual innocence when it's not. So they know they all uphold the thin blue line now. You understand? See, they trying to play little psychological games with folks. See, the officer, he was participating in a system that killed Hinton's son. Even if he didn't pull the trigger, that deputy, he was a part of that system that murdered that kid and then lied about it. So, some people look at that as complicity by association, especially in a system that rarely breaks ranks. And look, the race soldiers within law enforcement, they're not innocent by default. See, when society tries to grant blanket innocence to law enforcement, regardless of what role they played. No, 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 no. The history shows that officers, many of them protect killers, file false reports. They do a lot of shit that ain't innocent. Sit up here lying, that ain't innocent. That's the thing. So if the head of that system is corrupt, then damn, all of it is corrupt. If you go out here and you kill this kid and then lie about it, and you're blatantly lying, and we see the video and we see this kid didn't point no damn gun, but you're still going to lie, you're all corrupt. That's the mindset that people have. And if a system is corrupt and we're paying our tax dollars to this system and they're openly corrupt like that and taking people's children out, yeah, people are feeling like, well, I'm not obligated to respect that system or anybody who's a part of it. You see? Because now they want to do this. Well, this innocent cop over here, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt because he didn't have anything to do with it. Well, damn it. Did you give Hinton's son the benefit of the doubt? Yeah, when they killed his son, they didn't do him like the white kids. Yeah, he was in a stolen car, allegedly, but that cop wasn't in danger. So that son was judged, executed, and then criminalized without any proof. The Constitution didn't protect him. They played the "I'm white and I say so" game. So they didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. They didn't give him equal treatment under the law. You understand? So, police solidarity. Here's the thing: when they do all of that, we gonna stand in the thin blue line, the big blue wall, all that. When they do that police solidarity thing, even under corruption, when the cops are lying and doing racially based murders, because that's what it was, racially based murders. And when they make these solidarity stands, what you do, you make all other officers accountable. When cops show up 50 deep to support one another during an arraignment, but you never show up to denounce no damn killer cop, you ain't denouncing none of these fools who do little janky shit. You have the thin blue wall for them. So if you do that, if you're going to collectively endorse violence against Black lives, some people will think, well, that collective energy can receive a collective response. You see, you can't be on some collective energy when it's convenient. Yeah, yeah. See, y'all, they move as a unit. And yeah, Rodney Hinton was not some mindless killer. He wasn't. He was a mourning father. That wasn't a random act of violence. Let's be clear. That wasn't a random act of violence. That was a reaction to a life being stolen and them lying about it and sitting their asses up on TV with a straight face lying about what happened to that kid. That's dirty. We saw the video. The kid didn't point no gun at nobody. And anybody saying that is a goddamn white supremacist. And the dad said, okay, is that what y'all doing? Okay, well, this is what I'm about to do. Huh? Yeah, people are just not going to accept these lies and murder all the time. That's just not going to happen. Yeah, so I don't know why they acting shocked. Yeah, yeah, that was an emotional and there was a spiritual weight of losing your kid to state violence. No, come on now. And what's interesting, the so-called innocent officers, they oftentimes they enable injustice. Many of these so-called innocent cops, you stand by while your racist officers sit up here and abuse power. You don't say nothing. You ain't telling nobody nothing. You ain't saying, hey, this guy is lying. If you ain't saying nothing, you with the program. Yeah? They help sign false police reports. They remain silent on misconduct. They destroy evidence. Yeah, so yeah, y'all roll as a collective gang. And that's what's really about, the whole thing with Rodney Hinton. It was about systematic retaliation. It wasn't just random targeting. He didn't just attack a random white person. He attacked and targeted, allegedly, a representative of the system that executed his son. You see? So, yeah, just like America celebrates soldiers who retaliate for fallen comrades, see, Rodney, he responded to a killing that was deeply personal and to him very unjust. And, when people start talking about, oh, it was an innocent cop, okay. That's a way to shift the conversation from away from why Rodney acted in that way in the first place, why he did what he did in the first place. That's a distraction tactic to make it seem like he just woke up one day and said, I'm gonna run down a cop. No, they took his son out and then lied about it. You never know what people are gonna do. You dig? You never know. So you better be careful whose kids you're out here gunning down and lying about.
I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work on me tonight. I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work on me tonight. Yeah, yeah. I need some more work on me tonight. I need some more work, baby, tonight.